So you've watched a lot of skill cap guides and you feel like you know it all now. You definitely have the basics down and understand the game on a whole new level. But do you really? Well, today, that's what we're going to find out. I'm going to run you through one of my own games on a gold smurf and question you along the way to see if you really do know those fundamentals. So let's start by testing you on the matchup. I'm playing Sivir vs Orianna. This will be a good test because nobody should know how this matchup goes from experience because no one plays Sivir mid, but from game knowledge it's very clear what both champions need to do. So pause the video here and think about how this matchup should go and we'll give the answer next. Alright, so you should know Sivir is an AD champion versus Orianna, who is an AP champ. Sivir has more wave clear and should lose in short poke trades, but wins extended trades since she's an AD champion. My missions for this lane will be: Mission 1, push the wave. By pushing, I'll get the level advantage and minion advantage. Mission 2, trade using those advantages. With a minion level advantage, it will be impossible to lose any trades. And then Mission 3, keep pressuring. You should know by now that the most optimal way to play is constantly pushing and pressuring, as long as the enemy champion can't just run you down the lane. We know Sivir wins extended trades, so we're gonna push. But you might be thinking, what if I was against a Yasuo or Irelia? Then it would be better to let the wave push into me after level 2 and not continue pushing. Alright, we have our game plan, let's get into the gameplay. We're gonna hit you with a question right away. We know I want to be pushing for Mission 1 right now. Should I be using my abilities to push or just use auto attacks? I don't want to be using my abilities to push for multiple reasons here. First, I'm an AD champion, so my autos do way more than Orianna's autos, and I'll get the push advantage easily. So it would just be a waste of mana and a cooldown that I could be using to trade with. Also, if I used an ability to push, the wave would push too fast and just hit the tower on the first wave and would reset on the second. That doesn't give us any advantage. We want to push the wave slower so we actually get a level lead and build up a minion wave. So I do just that and just auto attack the minions, clearing the first 3 until right here. If you were me, what would you do here? You should be able to tell right away that Orianna is way out of position. She ran away from her minions and is in auto range of me when I have stronger auto attacks. So I hit her with an auto and reset it with W for some quick damage, then back up so she can't return anything. I could have kept going there and got 1 or 2 more autos in as well though. Now I use the rest of my W on the wave, which hits her and damages the minions a bit. Then I collect these last hits as the next wave arrives. Also, pay attention to my positioning here. I was on the bottom side of the lane and Ori used her Q to try and hit me. Now I can move all the way over to the other side, so her Q has to travel really far and it gives me plenty of time to dodge it. This is an Orianna specific tip and it really helps when laning against her. It's back to pushing now though. As I'm doing this, what should I be looking to do next? You should know that it takes 7 minions to get level 2. So I want to look to kill 1 more minion before Ori does and use my level 2 spike to get a really good trade in. And as I'm doing that, let's pause here right before the 7th minion dies. Do you see the problem here? You should be able to tell that Ori is really far out of position, not respecting that I'm about to hit level 2 at all. Also, notice how as I'm about to kill this minion, I'm already moving up in position to go in. This is something I never see in lower elo. You guys will hit level 2, but then be too far away to punish so they can just run away. Anyways, if we keep going, I hit level 2 and go in, then I hold my Q until she's here, which doesn't give her many options to dodge, but I could only do this because it's lower elo. Did you know this Ori could have easily dodged my Q using a very simple movement trick? This trick works even in high elo and it's very simple. You want to run like you're putting yourself in one of those bad spots with no options. Then just run the other way. So Ori should have just acted like she was going to run in between the tower and the wall. This would bait me into throwing it there like I did, and then she could immediately turn and walk in front of the tower instead. It works really well. Make sure to try it in your own game. Anyways, the trade was extremely good for me as I brought her down to about 10% health just using my level 2 spike properly and punishing her for being out of position. After that, I would love to try and kill her, but I need to collect my last hits first. I'll have plenty of opportunities to kill her after that amazing trade, so I don't need to give up CS to rush the kill. After the wave is mostly cleared though, I run up looking for a little more damage and get an auto's worth of poke here. It wasn't worth using my Q because it would hit minions and make it do less damage, and it's a really high mana cost. The 3rd wave arrives now, so let's question you here. What should I be focusing on? This might have been a tricky one for you guys, but it really shows if you have the fundamentals down. I need to be focusing on clearing this 3rd wave and crashing it on the tower. This is because the wave is in a spot where I'm easily ganked, and by crashing on the tower I can get vision, tower damage, or even take a reset if I need to. It gives me full priority over the lane. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, mainly using my auto attacks on the wave, and I throw one Q to help a little with the push and harass Ori a little bit more. Then I finish up clearing the wave and crash on the tower. Alright, now what should I do? I should use this time to go ward for the enemy jungler, but since it's low elo, I usually don't ward and just rely on outplaying. Don't be like me though, that's just bad gameplay. I should go drop a ward on the side that I plan to hug. My jungler's top side, so I should ward top and play towards there. Then I should come back to lane and do what I'm about to do next. I basically just skipped a step. I'm going to start getting tower damage, and anytime Ori walks up in range for me to auto her without taking tower aggro, I hit her, chipping away little by little, until Graves shows up from top side looking to gank. Since I didn't have a ward for an early alert, I'm forced to use my heal here to get out. This sucks, but getting ganked is actually a good thing. That's the benefit of constantly pushing and pressuring. Now everyone knows where Graves is. He wasted time trying to gank my lane and got nothing for it, and that's time he could have used to farm or gank my other teammates. And as soon as he leaves, it's back to pushing and pressuring again. I still have flash, so I'm fine, and Ori is still low, so I have kill pressure. As I'm pushing, look what my team is pinging. They're actually pinging to go to the Graves red. This is surprising in low elo to be honest, but it just goes to show how good it is pulling the jungler to your lane. Even in low elo, my jungler saw Graves didn't have red and is on the way to his red with our top laner. As they head over, they find Graves near Raptors and get an easy first blood on him. Crazy how this all started because I put so much pressure in mid, Graves felt like he had to gank and it was a big mistake. He should never try to gank that without red. But after that kill, I'm really free to be as aggressive as I want on the Orianna now. And she's low enough to dive. So I'm going to do the same thing as before, constantly pushing, and whenever she walks up for her last hit, I use auto and Q to get as much damage as possible. At this point, she really only has one option. She lost lane, so she needs to use her TP as a get out of jail free card. Basically meaning she just needs to TP back to lane so she doesn't lose CS. That's not the most optimal way to use it, and it doesn't give her any benefit. But she doesn't lose that much. But let's see what she does. This wave is a cannon wave, so it takes a bit longer to clear, but with the help of the mana return on my spell shield and cookies, I get enough mana to use Q again to push it a bit faster. Then I get the wave crashed on the tower, and it's back to the same thing as before, and she gets really greedy for this last minion and is forced to flash away from my Q. I actually should have killed her here though. I should have just used auto W when I went in for the last auto. It would have thrown 2 auto attacks instantly and killed her. I'm not sure why I didn't, maybe I'm just washed up, I don't know. But now surely she's going to reset and TP in, so I have to quickly push this and reset myself so she doesn't TP on her minions and freeze it. And as I'm doing that, this poor Orianna actually decided to stay, so it was simple as flash auto attacking for my first kill of the lane. Now when I get back to lane, the minions look like this. I have a BF sword, so I'm pretty strong after that kill. You should know the exact game plan to snowball this lead from here. Pause the video here if you want more time to think. The most optimal way of snowballing here is slow pushing to stack up a big wave, then diving the Ori and killing her before she can collect the wave. Obviously, I can't 100 to 0 her under tower, so I want to try and chip at her health as much as possible as it's slow pushing. So I start slow pushing, and when she walks up way too far like this, I use that opportunity to get a big chunk of her health. She walked up with no minions, so she was way out of position. Now that she's half health, she is diveable, so I want to clear this wave and look for it. I hit level 7 as well, putting me 2 levels up, and she makes another big mistake turning around at all when I'm running at her like this. The moment she does that, I know she's dead, so I pop my ult right away and go in and dive, getting the kill and surviving to push the next one in before recalling. Now I'm 2-0 with nearly a 3 level lead and a massive CS lead as well, so the lane is completely done. Alright guys, so how did you do? Did you answer all the questions right and prove that you know your fundamentals, or is it time to go back and rewatch our guides? Also, if you're not already signed up to SkillCapped, then you're missing out big time. League of Legends is much more fun if you know what you're doing, and SkillCapped is easily the best place to learn. Make sure you sign up to stay ahead of the competition in the new season, as we're releasing tons of content that is exclusive only to our subscribers every week. Thanks for watching!